Hello everyone and welcome to the part 2 tutorial in my character introduction in After Effects, and we will start from where we had left before. And if you are following along, you should be having something like this. So we just extracted the image from the background and we applied a little position keyframe to the background texture and to the character. Now we will go to bridge, and if you don't have bridge you can go to file and browse in bridge or use the keyboard shortcut. I like this keyboard shortcut, so I try to use this keyboard shortcut, but it depends on you what you want to do. Once you are over here, you would want to go to your right gear folder and then go for brush paint images, and in that we're going to use the brush 3 and we're going to use brush 26. Now you can use some different brushes like 19 and 23 will also be good. 13 will also be good, but I'm going to be working with 26 and 3 over here. So take these and go to your After Effects and drop them onto the project panel. Okay, so these have been imported to After Effects. Now we would like to bring them to our to our composition now. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring my CTI over here. This looks good. Select both of them and drop them into your composition panel or your timeline panel actually. And let's tackle one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to remove this brush 3's eyeball, so we only have 26 available. And now what we want is we want only the white part. So what you can do is you can change the blend mode, and if you don't see this, then it's just going to be a small button over here, or you can press F4 and it will come up. So change the blend mode from normal to add, and what that does is it removes all the black that was there in the image, and it only keeps the white. And luckily we had a black and white image, so all the black has been filtered out and only white remains. So you're left with this part, and this is good. Now let's take a look at this image, and we want to do the opposite effect, because what we want is we want the white to go away and all the blacks to stay. So what I'm going to do is, instead of going to the I'm going to go to the blend mode, drop down, and instead of taking add, I'm going to take multiply. So what that does is it removes all the white and it only keeps the black. And now select your brush 3 image, and then just stretch it out like this. Now for those of you who do not have right gear, you probably want to work with the same thing, because it will be good if you have if you have a black and white image. And if you do not have a black and white image, what you can do is select it and do some color correction. Maybe go to effect, go to color correction, and then just make it black and white. Or you can go to Photoshop also and change some things over there. Okay, so this is the exact effect that I'm looking for, maybe a little bit out. Just make increase the size a little bit more. Okay, this looks good. You can even use a vignette effect in order to get this full thing, because a vignette I think would be looking good. Let's just quickly make a vignette effect. So Control Y for creating a solid. I'm gonna keep it black. Press Q, the Q key, Q as in the Queen, Q, 3 times on your keyboard. Then you will be here at the ellipse tool. Do a double click. Make sure that the black layer is selected. Invert it, and hit the F key on your keyboard for feathering out the mask. So you have a good, nice edge. So just in case if you do not have right gear, you can still use this effect. But I think that this looks better, and this just kind of dulls the full scene, and this has that spikes effect also that I think really looks good. Okay, so I'm going to remove this black solid now. Now I'll just put the eyeball back for brush 26, and this is supposed to be like an underline effect for our text. It just kind of brings a little more attention to the text. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create our text. Let's work a little on the text. Do a right click. Or you know what, I've got a keyboard shortcut, Control Shift Alt T, and I only use my left hand to do that. And now you'll type in the name Itachi Itachi, wait a sec. I forgot the name. UCH, as a matter of fact. Control C and Control V. Perfect. Itachi Uchiha. Let's change the font to I remember Bank Gothic MD. That looks good. Just change it, just bring it over here, just so that you can see what's happening. I'll bring in the texture also. I'm just gonna solo the texture and the text layer. And since we are not working with any animation, I will increase my resolution from quarter to full. That just, makes it look like absolutely perfect. This looks good. Now we'll go do a right click, go to layer styles, and we will add a bevel and emboss. And we'll do a right click and we will go once again to layer styles and we will add drop shadow this time. This thing looks good to me. You can go ahead and do some more changes if you want to, but I think I'm going to be, working with that one. Actually, I think I have not used the bevel and emboss this time. I've only used, I think I've only used, drop shadow, and I have reduced this opacity all the way to 100. Distance, I think I've increased. Yes, I think I've done this. Angle 90. Okay, this thing looks good to me. Maybe change the distance. I think maybe to 20. Yeah. Okay, now 18 maybe. Okay, I think this looks good. Okay, now I'll just tilt it a little. I'm holding down my W key, and yeah, do make the text layer a 3D layer, because we want to apply the same position keyframes that were there on all the different layers. To quarter once again. This thing looks good now. Just bring it a little down. Okay, I think this looks good. I'm just gonna reduce the scale also. Maybe to 87 or 90, something like that. Okay, this whole effect now looks good. Let's just go ahead and apply. And first, we would like to trim these layers, because you can see I'm going ahead a little. Just bring them over here like this. Looks good. Now we will apply the position keyframes that were there on all the different layers. So just select your clip or your texture, hit the U key, go to position, click on the word position. That will select all the other keyframes. Control C. Make sure that your CTI is properly placed, because you want it to be on the first, the first frame. And what is this? Wait a sec, what the hell is this? Okay, I think it is because of the clip layer. Okay, this thing looks good now. Now we will select all the 3 layers over here. Make sure that the CTI is at the first frame, Control V, and everything else will go away. If it is not going away, then you have to do a little bit of tweaking. Yeah, and this is because these 2 brush strokes didn't go away because they were not 3D layers. So just select them and just turn the 3D layer on. And if they still didn't go away, then you definitely have to make some tweaking to them. So make the first one somewhere like 1800. So it just goes out of the frame. Make this last one also 1800 real quick. This also goes away. And now if we were to play this, it comes like this. Okay, once again a little bit of more tweaking. And you know what, guys, I think that the brush strokes and the text layer don't really require the 3rd keyframe at all. So I'm going to select them. I'm going to do a marquee selection to the 3rd keyframes, or this last keyframe. I'm going to delete them. So once they have been brought into the scene, they just stay still. And that's the whole idea. So go to the 2nd frame. Okay, you can just properly place all of these elements as you want. So what happens right now is it comes in with that BAM, but then it just stays, and only Itachi, and the background is moving. So it gives our user, the audience, a little time to read what is there, and it still doesn't look awkward because we have a little bit of movement behind, the character is moving and the texture background is moving. Now you can stop over here. This full effect is looking good, but if you want to do some more, if you want to bring in some more effects, you want to bring in some more elements, then you can create a shape layer. That's what I did. And I just made the full black. I removed the stroke. I brought the stroke down to 0, and it's just a simple plain color, So I'll just make like a quick little bar like this, and I'll reduce the opacity of this bar to see somewhere like 30. So it creates like this black and white effect. You can see this. So if you see over here, this was like, you know, a black and white effect. And actually I've even changed the blend mode of this to black, to color. So, you know, it creates like a black and white effect. That is totally good. Just select the shape layer, you know, hold on the W key and you can twist it or you can rotate it like this. Then just give it some random shapes. So this full effect is looking good. You can duplicate the shape layer, Control D, and then, you know, you can position this differently, maybe add the Itachi word. It's looking good like this right now. But now you can see that it's you know, it is getting on top of Itachi also, and that's not what we want. So we'll just bring the Itachi on top of this shape layer, and this looks good, I think, to me. What we will do is we want this below bar to have to be on top of Itachi, so it looks like this, you know. And this full effect, and right now it is covering the text, so we don't want that. We'll bring the text layer, or you know what, just bring the Itachi down. And I've got a better idea. I will do some masking instead. You can see this. I'll just put a mask over here real quick. So I'll select, or you know what, on shape layers you cannot put a mask. So what we will do is we will okay, so you cannot have a mask. How about bringing it down like this and it just goes out? Okay, I think this looks good. I've brought the shape layer down on, you know, below Itachi, but it is still on top of the rect texture. So you can see this. This is the full effect. If I was to make it full, and if you see this on full, you'll see that the text and the, you know, all these different elements are a little too powerful, you know, for the background. So, you know, what we'll do is we will blur. We'll put some blur effects on the red texture and all these different elements, so they are not you know, too much powerful, and they are not, you know, blocking our main character. And I think I need to put some, you know, some masking, some mask on the spikes effect. Brush 3, go to the mask tool or the rectangular tool, select a brush 3 and just, you know, click a small mask over here, and then just invert the mask. So what happens is this much part of Itachi is totally free, and our viewers can concentrate on Itachi much better. You can feather the mask out so you don't have like a very, you know, sharp edge. Just select these 2 points and increase the mask also if you have to, like this. This whole effect looks good now. And the best part is that all of this is animated. Let's quickly reduce it down to quarter. We'll play it. Itachi Uchiha. Looks good. Yeah, I think this looks good. For some reason, there is a third keyframe being created. I'll just delete it. Select these 2. Check if there's a third keyframe. I don't know how did this keyframe come over here. I made a mistake maybe. Okay, so this is how you can create a character introduction in Adobe After Effects. You know, yeah, we have to apply the blur effects to our elements in the background, so that they are not you know, too powerful, or they are not you know, getting all the attention that is supposed to be, you know, given to our character over here. So go to Effects and Presets, go to Blur and Sharpen, and then, you know, just quickly take a Gaussian blur and select all of these elements, the 2 brush strokes, then the red texture. Just take Gaussian blur and then apply it to all of them. All you can do is, if that thing doesn't work, change the blurriness over here, somewhere to 10. See how that looks. Okay, I think that's a little too powerful. Maybe to 5. Okay, I think 5 looks good. Just copy it, Control C, Control V, then go to the red texture, Control V, and that also looks good. So now, you know, our word and our character has a little more you know, focus to them, and that, you know, just takes the attention, and that looks good. Now we would want to do some changes in the color of our character. So go to FX and presets, go to color correction, then go to curves, look for curves, take it, drop it onto the character, clip Itachi over here. And depending on what you want to do, I want to make a full change, I want to brighten up the guy. So I'll go to RGB, just increase the curve like this. Looks good now. You can even add a little bit of tint if you want to, like give it a little bit of red tint, because the monkey you're showing on is red, the background is red, so in that just kind of has a good blend. And yeah, in the end I have applied some paint strokes also, because I've had this feeling that this part right now is looking totally empty and not so, it doesn't have any good elements to it. So what I did was I went to brush, I went to Riot Gear once again, and I went to paint splatter this time, and I took the first one, because what we are looking for right now is something that that is like thrown at a page. For example, the paint one, and actually my bridge is, yeah, okay, just freezed. If I was to play this, you'll see it is like thrown on a page. Instead of just dropping it from the top, it is actually thrown from an angle, and we are looking for something like that. So maybe paint 13 is also like that. Let's see. Yeah, see, it is thrown from this side, so that kind of thing looks good. 18, 17, they are also pretty good, but I think I've used 17 and 1. I'm just gonna work with them. 17 and 1, take them, drop it onto After Effects project panel, and just bring them into their composition. And what we want to do now is we would really want to first we want to change the blend mode, and since we want to filter out the black, we will change it to add, so only the white part remains and the black is filtered out. A quarter, and you just offset this paint, because what you want is we don't want all the elements coming at the same time. We want our paints to be a little after the whole animation. So what happens is like this, it comes here like this, and then we have the paint. Now we just want to position the paint properly. And like this maybe, and then just change the the order of all these layers, because we want the paint to be below the text. We don't want it to cover the text with the paint, so bring him down below the text, actually below the brushes also, I think. Yeah, this I think looks good. Now you may want to apply the same blur effect, Gaussian blur, to the paint, because they are a little overpowering. And you can just change the position of this 17. I think it's a little too close to the text, not giving that effect. Maybe something like this. Okay, this I think looks good now. Itachi Uchiha. This below one, this big blob, I don't like that. Paint one. I think this looks good now. Okay. If you have Riot Gear, you can do some more changes. You can just mess around a little more, but I am just showing you what I made. Then you just want to apply that Gaussian blur that was there on this elements to the plane splatters. And this is how I created my character introduction for Itachi Uchiha. And thank you so much for watching. If you have Riot Gear or Evolution, try to use them. Okay, come up with some different effects. Try to come up with some different colors. Maybe apply some color correction to the texture that I'm providing you with, and you'll be good. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you.